Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kailin and I post videos every single Saturday with a few sprinkled in between, and I post mainly about eating disorder recovery and intuitive eating. So if that's something that you're interested in, I would love for you to stick around and click onto that subscribe button down below. And you can also click the bell icon if you want to be notified every single time that I upload. So now that 2020 is finally coming to an end, there are a lot of videos going around on YouTube about healthy habits that you can make for the new year, or goals and resolutions that you can set for yourself. And a lot of them have to do with deprivation. So stop consuming sugar, remove X, Y, and Z from your diet. Or they're also additives into your life that just aren't attainable. Make sure you drink 5 liters of water a day. Make sure you run 6 miles. Make sure you work out at least 6 times a week. I'm sorry to break it to you, but habits like this, 1, aren't sustainable, and 2, aren't particularly healthy. So today we are going to be talking about healthy habits for 2021 that can be beneficial and helpful to anybody out there. And again, on this channel, we don't focus on depriving ourselves, but instead we really have an emphasis on providing for our bodies. So the first thing that I want you to do in 2021, or a good goal to put forth for yourself, is to put yourself first. We live in a world where sometimes self-care comes off as selfish, when it really shouldn't. There's nothing selfish about taking care of yourself and also taking care of your body. And putting yourself first and taking care of yourself is going to look different to everybody, but some examples of what you can do is making sure you're getting enough sleep, making sure that the boundaries that you are setting are being respected by the people in your life. Self-care can be as simple as cooking your own meals and not ordering out as much. Like I said, this is going to look different for everybody. For some people, it's going to be going on walks, but don't let your self-care be pushed onto the back burner in 2021. I know that 2020 has been just a wild year. It's affected everybody in a very different way. With the long winter months coming up, at least in Canada, it is dark, it is cold. If you're not taking care of yourself, it can be a very sad and isolating time, and that lack of self-care is just gonna make you feel a lot worse. Something else that you can do in the new year is also watch what you say. With the new year creeping up on us, there's a lot of talk about diets. There's a lot of talk about other people's bodies, if people have lost weight throughout the year, if people have gained weight throughout the year. There are so many more interesting things in this world to talk about than diets and bodies. So find a different topic of discussion and move on. So this third thing, toxic friends. Get rid of them. For the majority of my life, I had very toxic friends. Friends who didn't really care about me, friends who didn't put my well-being first, friends who were honestly not friends at all. They like to make me feel bad. They like to make themselves feel good by putting me down. And there are people out there who think that they are the honest friend, and they think that their honesty gives them a kind of pass to be blunt and rude. And not in 2021, okay? You are deserving of respect. And if your friends don't respect you, then you need new friends. Another healthy habit, or just a mini goal for 2021, would be to do something that you love for at least 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes, that's it. Whatever you love. Cooking, reading, writing, painting, sports, exercising, whatever it is, take 5 minutes out of your day. Hopefully more if you can, but basically a minimum of 5 minutes, and do that one thing that you love. At least it'll release serotonin for those 5 minutes, you know? And even if it's just scrolling online and looking at pictures of puppies, if that's something that you love doing, then do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. With the hustle and bustle of 2020 and everything that's gone on, I think that something that would be beneficial for everybody is to unplug for a little bit. Just unplug from your life, delete the social media, take a step away from Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, because we know that you can fall into a TikTok spiral and be on there for, you know, like 3 hours, but it feels like 3 minutes. And in the end, not that you're wasting time per se, but you can definitely be doing other things with your time. And social media, I find the more you're on it, the more toxic that it can become. Of course, it depends on who you're following and what accounts you're seeing repeatedly. But I think that no matter how many positive accounts you're following, comparison can sometimes leak into your head. Or even if you're not actively trying to compare yourself to others, it does happen sometimes. And also, you can just get caught up and overwhelmed in media in general. Announcements on Facebook, it can be a lot. So unplug for a good chunk of your day, maybe, you know, an hour before you go to bed. Try not to be on your phone. Or maybe you take one day throughout the week where you just unplug from social media completely. I think that it's a good goal to make. It's one that I have to work a little bit harder at. Something else that I want to say is that if you're thinking about pursuing something in 2021, but you're afraid to do it, this is your sign to do it. If 2020 has demonstrated anything to us, it's that anything can happen, good or bad, and that life is extremely short. So if you want to create YouTube videos, then pull out your phone. You don't need a fancy camera, and start filming them. If you want to start a cooking blog, do it. Do it. Why not? What's in your way? What is stopping you from pursuing what you want to do? One of the biggest things that I was scared of was what other people would think of me. And I was so pleasantly surprised with the overwhelming amount of support I got from the people in my life, from people who I thought would be judging me. And I'm not gonna lie, I still keep YouTube private from most of my family. Most of my family doesn't know I'm online. They don't know I'm on Instagram. They don't know that I post YouTube videos. They don't really even know about my eating disorder story and my journey when it comes to food freedom and body positivity. And in 2021, I want to own it a little bit more and be confident in what I do, because for a lot of my friends, they're super supportive, but also when it comes to my family, only my sister knows. So maybe I'll dip my toes and be like, yeah, I post YouTube videos every Saturday with a couple sprinkled in between. I think I'll do it. Something else that I personally find really important is to have some kind of creative outlet. So for me, if you've been around here for a long time, you know that I've been working on a book for around 5 years or so. It's a mess in the making is what I like to call it, but it is just something that I love with my whole being. And I'm not saying that you have to be good or that you have to love it, but I think that having some sort of creative space is really important, and room to be bad at art, because I also paint and I like to sketch, and I'm not good at either of those things, but I love to put on some music and take out my paintbrushes and just let loose on a canvas. And it feels so good after. And it doesn't have to be something that's intrinsically artistic. It could be just singing in the shower. It could be dancing around your room. It's just, I think, really important to have something to turn to make you feel better. Not to essentially create, but just to let loose and have a space that is fun to be yourself in, if that makes sense. A goal that I'm setting for myself, and that I also urge you to set for yourself, is to try something new this year. So that could be a new cuisine in the kitchen, it could be learning a new language, it could be even just learning a new software on your computer. Whatever you want to do, try something new. I know that stepping out of your comfort zone can be really hard, even for something as simple as it comes to like trying new food. Like, think about how scary trying new foods is, like, to a child, right? They want to stick with what they know. They want what they know because something new is scary. And being scared isn't always a bad thing. I remember at the beginning of 2020 when somebody was talking to me about positive affirmations, I thought that they were full of, I just thought that it was wacko. I was wondering, why would I stand in front of the mirror and say things out loud to myself? Why would I do that? And it is because thoughts become actions, and it took me a long time to understand this. And also come around to doing positive affirmations, but I highly recommend you do them. You don't have to do them every day, but I recommend doing them at least once a week. You can either stand in front of the mirror and you can look at positive affirmations that are online. Whatever you need, say it to yourself. So if you need strength, say you are strong. If you need self-love, say you are worthy. You can say you are beautiful. You can say that you are resilient. There's so many things that you can say to yourself. If you feel mildly uncomfortable with saying them out loud, you can also write them down in a journal. You can have a positive affirmations journal where you just rewrite the same thing over and over and over again, of course, depending on the day and what your affirmation is. But I highly recommend it. What do you have to lose? The more you say it, the more you will believe it. Trust me. And on the same vein as like a gratitude journal, I think that journaling is beneficial to anybody and everybody. I think that there's a misconception when it comes to journaling that things have to look neat and look right. And I just want to say that journals can be a complete mess. You can be talking about one thing, you can stop mid-sentence, you can switch the subject around, you can draw, you can write. A journal is your own space, it's your own thing. And there's no right way to journal. And I think that that's incredibly freeing and something that is definitely fun to perhaps embark on this year. Something else that I think we should practice a little bit more in the new year is gratitude. We made it through 2020. We might have made it through tattered and falling apart in a few places with our heart not completely whole. Perhaps we've lost people this year or lost bits and pieces of ourselves, but I think practicing gratitude is a very important thing to just do as a community. And you can appreciate the smallest things. You can appreciate a nice hot cup of cocoa, you know, a roof over your head, a weighted blanket, a loving partner, a cloudy, rainy day. Whatever you are appreciative of or grateful for, I think it's really important to take a second every day and just say one thing that you're grateful for. So I am grateful for my dogs. I am grateful for the neighborhood that I live in. I am grateful for you. I think that it's really important to voice that gratitude, because not only does it make you put your life a little bit more into perspective, but also thanking the people in your life, you know, for even really small things that people do for you. You know, if somebody makes you a cup of tea, being thankful for them and grateful for them. And it's also going to make the person feel really good as well. And two things that I also think that we can just do more of is to say, I love you more often, and also just to not take life too seriously. Laugh at yourself. Some things are funny, you know, it's okay to laugh at yourself, and you know, when you trip, to not be embarrassed, just to laugh it off. It's just be present in the moment and try your best to support yourself. There's nothing to be embarrassed about in this world. So let's laugh more, cry more, and just live life a little bit more. If you're somebody who gets overwhelmed extremely easily, one of my top tips for you, and honestly for anybody, is to be a little bit more organized by making lists. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I do make daily lists. It's something that I feel better about. It doesn't mean that I cross everything off my list every single day, but it's nice to divide a list into things that have to be done for the day, things that you would like to do, and then, you know, minor things. You know, things that I would have to do would be upload video, clean sheets, walk dogs kind of thing. You can even put eat breakfast, eat lunch, eat dinner, whatever you want on your list. It's completely up to you. But if you're somebody who's just overwhelmed with the tasks that you have to do in the day or in the tasks that you have to do at work, please make a list. Don't try to hold it all in your head. You're gonna feel so much better if it's all on paper or all on your phone. It's just take a breath. Another tip for people who often feel flustered or overwhelmed is try to keep your space as clean as you can. My space right now is a little bit messy and I'm feeling overwhelmed. And the only reason I'm feeling overwhelmed is mainly because of the mess that's in front of me. So after this video is over, you bet your cute little butt that I'm gonna clean this up, because I, like I said, feel mildly overwhelmed. But a clean space is obviously beneficial for everybody, and it's just clean space, clean mind, that's what I like to think. So now we're gonna focus a little bit more on our body and on our health. So something that is really important for our bodies, for our heart health, for everything in general, is movement. I am an advocate for intuitive movement and also for you to pursue a movement that you enjoy. We don't have to follow plans. You don't have to work out super hard and until your whole face is sweating and everything like that. Movement and joyful movement is going to look different for everybody. And as long as you are doing something that you enjoy, that is all that matters. So some people like high intensity training. So they like working out for 20 minutes and getting a good sweat on. Some people like walking, you know, walking on a treadmill or walking outside. Some people have a sport, so they do karate or they play volleyball. I think that it is important to move your body, but I also think that it is just as important to enjoy the movement that you're doing. And I also want to stress that if you're coming from a disordered relationship with exercise and with food, the healthiest thing for you might be not to exercise, and that's equally okay and also equally important. And something else that we can do is we can drink more water. I'm not asking you to hit a limit. I'm not asking you to track your water. Just drink more water. You know, it's good for you. And the main thing that I want you to focus on in 2021 is to provide for your body and never deprive it. So you can always add things into your life without having to take things away. So you can focus on adding more fruits, adding more vegetables. You can focus on adding movement into your life. But you don't have to take anything away. You don't have to take away any pleasure foods. You just have to focus on being the best person that you can be for yourself and also the best host you can be for your body. And the last thing that we are not gonna do in 2021 because we are practicing healthy, sustainable habits is fall for diet culture. We are not going on fad diets. We are not going on weight loss diets. We are not downloading Noom. We are not downloading MyFitnessPal. We are not gonna try Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig or any of the Whole30 shit. That's what it is. It's just a load of BS. Diets don't work. It's a $72 billion industry that makes no promises, that takes your money and then leaves you more miserable at the end than when you were at the beginning. Feels good to say. No diets in 2021. Okay? Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this video was somewhat helpful for you and can inspire you to pick up a couple of healthier habits when it comes to 2021. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.